Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome again to Be Inspired with Buzopat Live Talk. We said this is a platform where we need to embrace our truth that leads to freedom. This is where we deal with real life-changing issues and situations. Because right now, what is going on in our world is crazy, but somebody had to do something, and we need to do something. When you know you have a voice of hope, when you know that you are a game changer, when you know that you're a woman of grace, when you know that you're an agent of change, when you know that you're purpose driven, when you know that you're hopelessly positive, when you know that you are humanitarianly, you have a humanitarian soul, you need to have a platform that you own for positive change, and you will definitely change the world for good in your own way. So welcome again. Today, last time we were here, we talked about character and how it can make and mar us. But today we're going to talk about how can one be happy in the midst of all that is going on. I know that even as I'm trying to ask these questions, so many people in their different homes are asking these questions every single day. How do you expect me to be happy with all the frustrations that is going on? How do you expect me to be happy in these depression situations? How do you expect me with all the depressions, with all the confusions, with all the stresses everywhere, with all the anxieties, with the terrible situations, and with the high blood pressure circumstances that we have? How do you expect one to be happy? Because there's a whole lot. 1,000,000 things are dragging people at the same time every minute. How do you expect one to be happy? But I am here to tell you that happiness is a choice and not a chance. That you have to be happy, because there's a lot that is dependent on you being happy. You need to laugh by force even when you're not feeling like it. You need to rejoice by force. You need to dance without a reason. You don't need to have a reason. Even when the rhythm is not being heard, form a rhythm in your head, form a beat and dance to it. You need it. You need to actually sing even when you have a cracked voice. What am I saying? You need to crack yourself up. You need to be happy because you owe yourself to be happy. Joy is a choice. Is a choice. Is a choice. Happiness cannot be traveled to. It can't be owned. It can't be earned. It can't be worn like a cloth. It is a spiritual experience, of living every minute of your life with love, with grace, with gratitude. That is what it's all about. You need to learn how to move away from being provoked from your children, from your husband, from your wife, from everybody, your colleagues, everywhere around you. You have a right to decide the environment you need to place yourself into, because what is dragging us and what is making us unhappy are many. You have to go where you're celebrated, not where you're tolerated, not where you're endured, but where you're how to move away from being provoked from your children, from your husband, from your wife, from everybody, your colleagues, everywhere around you. You have a right to decide the environment you need to place yourself into, because what is dragging us and what is making us unhappy are many. You know, you had to go where you're celebrated, not where you're tolerated, not where you're endured, but where you're enjoyed. You need to be there. If the people around you don't see your worth, they don't see your value, they don't know what you're doing, they don't understand you, it's time you start. You need to leave them. Because this time around, like I said, because most people don't understand, you don't need to explain and you don't need to complain. You don't need to allow God be there for you. You know, happiness is circumstantially driven. It depends. It doesn't depend on on what happens to you. That's what it is. But joy is not related to circumstances. It's a decision. You know, things can happen to you and you're happy because circumstances determines if you're happy. But when you allow yourself have this joy, infinite joy comes from, you know, it comes from deep. It doesn't come from without, it comes from within. If you allow yourself develop that joy that comes from within, you will understand that circumstances can't steal your joy. It can't. Okay? You are not expected every day to be happy. To think good things will be happening to you and you'll be rejoicing and you'll be so happy and everything. No, you're not. Because a lot of things may not be right, but how do you feel about it? Okay? You are not expected to actually experience positive things always, but what you do with it matters. Okay? Bad times don't come to destroy us. Okay? It brings out the strength in us. The value of a tea bag, we all know, needs a hot water to bring it out. So when those things happen, you don't have to allow it to come. Okay? So that is it. When you stumble, make it part of the dance. Don't lie down there. You need to create happiness, your own happiness. You need to create it. Okay? If you have wrinkles, it means that you have laughed so much. If you have scars, it means that you have lived. If you have gray hair, it means that you have cared for a whole lot of people you may not remember. You don't do this thing for people who will shout, who will point comment on you. You do this thing because that's who you are. You know, when you are on a bad chapter, don't let it look as if, oh, that's the end. That is just a bad chapter. Another chapter, you open another chapter and something beautiful will be happening there. So don't let bad things stop you for the moment. You need to stay like, oh, it's a passing phase, and definitely it will pass. That's what I need to assure you, because the ease will definitely come. That's for true. So you need to believe it so you can express it. If you don't believe it, you can't express it. And if you do, you need to trust the journey. You really need to trust the journey. In life, value drives behavior, but principles govern the consequences. That is the truth. It's your value that drives your behavior, but the principles governs the consequences. Most times you don't need to get there in the first place. You know, those who get the most out of life and those who give the most out of life, they do that because they chose to, and not because there's somebody there that say you must do it, this is time to do it. There was a decision. So that's what I keep saying, that life spent making mistakes definitely is more honorable than the one spent doing nothing. Okay? Most times, that what you have to give may not be so much. What you need to give to retain your joy that will save you may not be so much, but you may. It's a story that so many people have heard, so many people have listened to, maybe in different places, but I'll bring it down here because it has a lot to do with what we're doing today. Now, there's this boy, he has a cold room in one marketplace, and a guy that's a security man, an old man, the boy doesn't owe him anything. So many people are in the market, but this guy, every single day he comes there, he will say, "Good morning, sir, I'm here today." He will pass. If he's going, he will tell the man, good night, sir, I'm going. He kept doing this. He doesn't even know what he does in the life of the man. He doesn't know. That's his nature. He just have joy, and he shares his joy. So one day, during the closing time, he said to this man, oh, good morning, I'm here today. And the man said, oh, my son, okay. But during the closing time, he was trying to get something from the cold room, and the door closed on him. There was nobody to help. People have left the market. He had resigned to fate because he knew he was going to die. But you know what? That old man at the gate, that he just casually tells, good morning, I am here. Oh, good night, I'm going, was waiting for that good night. He hasn't seen it. He hasn't seen the boy. He didn't get it. You know what? He says something must be wrong with this boy because he has not passed. So he started looking for the boy. He was looking for the boy. So when he eventually knocked at that place, he now noticed that the guy wasn't there. Look at this, the guy who has given up hope. He doesn't know what to do again. He knew he was going to die. But this man knocked at that place. Are you here? And the boy said, yes, I'm trapped inside here. There's no way. Eventually, to cut the whole story short, the security man were able to open that place, and the guy came out. And the guy said, how did you know that I wasn't here helpless? Because there was nobody that knew. He said, my son, it may not mean anything to you, but I live for that your good morning, and I live for that your good night. That when you came in the morning, because everybody here doesn't notice whether I'm here or not. Of course, they all have come for their businesses, they go. But every morning you make me know that I'm alive, that I am human being, that I am here. In the night before you go, you made me realize, yes, that I'm not alone. Somebody knows that I'm living. And when you said the good morning to me in the morning, and I didn't hear you say it in the night, I knew that something is up because you have not passed. Now, what do I need to tell us? The boy had his joy. Things may not be so okay for him. Things may not be wonderful for him. But the fact remains that he didn't allow it to take away the joyful nature. He was able to share it with that man. Not knowing what he does in the life of that man, but he was able to do it. And he did it, and he saved his life, even without knowing. So what am I saying? I am Honorable Ambassador Bizzy Clark. Charity work is my passion. I run an NGO that is non-aligned, non-political, non-religious, non-ethnic, but pan-Nigeria. Because anybody can be affected. In all the people that I've touched in my life, I don't need to know where they're coming from. I came for a purpose in this life, and I'm living my life. So those who from anywhere, doesn't matter where I am from, I need to do the work for that man who sent me and who called me. So when you're sad and unhappy, your health shows it. Nothing appeals to you anymore. You know, you won't eat, you won't relax, you won't sleep, you won't be okay, you know, and you will live your life. Life will lose its meaning, and you will start deteriorating. So when we talk about you being happy in the midst of all that is going on, it means that you are properly guiding your health and your life jealously. You know, you're doing it. So it's not tied to whether someone is there clapping for you. Your joy is your joy, you know, and you need to learn how to relate things to God. The joy you have will definitely be given to you by God. That's when you can have joy. From the midst of when things are not okay, so many things are not working right, but you have your joy, you know. So when you do that, then you know that you'll be lifted higher and higher. You'll be lifted above storms. You'll be lifted above sorrow and pain. You'll be lifted above bitterness. You'll be lifted above depression. You'll be lifted above oppositions, and you'll be lifted above mountains and obstacles, and you will see that you're blessed by the Most High God, because for sure that is what you will become. That is who we are, and that is the kind of joy I am telling you to have. That you don't allow little excuses to ruin you. You must do it. You don't need to wait for when everything becomes okay. Do things with joy. There are some people that are born very wealthy. They are born lucky. Some people are born with silver spoons. Some people are born with wooden vibrance. Some people are born with so much affluence. Some people cannot even afford a meal. Some people are just born, you can't even believe their circumstances. But you know what? Whichever category that you find yourself inside, hey, you need to hold your joy. You need to learn to do things with joy. You need to learn. I said in one of the broadcasts I made recently that you need to drink that your pap with joy. You need to smoke that your gari with joy. If you don't have Lexus, please, you have Legacy Benz. Trek with joy. Go do the things you need to do with joy. Smile, okay? Don't be in competition with people you don't know. Your paths are different, very, very different. Keep your joy. And if they have their whatever, their lister, you are better past my neighbor. Start it with joy. Charge your phone. Do things. Learn to make your children understand that there are different stages in life. What you have right now is not it. It's not the be all. It's not the a all. It's not the z all. You're going somewhere. You're on a journey. You're on a journey. And it doesn't matter your category. What you do with it matters. What you do with it matters. Learn to create your own happiness. Learn to create your own happiness. Learn to be the best you can be. Learn to make sure that your soul is on fire. Learn to know, because when you do that, you need to make every other person that wants to talk down on you understand that your God is faithful, that your God is powerful, that your God is in charge, that your God can be fired, and your God never retires, and that your God is on top of your matter, your situation, and you will tell them, I am so lucky, I'm blessed to have that God as my own, irrespective of who you call. Hold on and hold out. That is all I need to do. You have a mission, you're going somewhere, and it's all going to end in praise. Above all, I know the frustrations are real. I know the depressions are real. I know the confusions are much. I know the environments are not okay. Economy too is not smiling. So many things. Anxieties everywhere. So many things. But you know what? I tell you, keep your joy. Okay? Keep your happiness. Make it a duty that you don't allow environment and situations to steal your joy. Let it come from inside of you. It will keep you intact until when you're ready to. So until we meet next week, I want to say thank you so much for being on. And when you hear, keep sharing. When you listen to me, keep sharing, keep liking, keep sharing, so that those who are not here will get to understand what we do. The messages are for everybody. You never can tell who is going to. You don't know who is suffering. You don't know who needs help. You don't know who. I am led to do this, and I know that as you share and as you like, whenever you come in contact with this, you know that yes, God is using all of us in this platform to reach communities and be the best we can be. Thank you.